Hey, what's going on, everybody? I figured I would just make a couple of screencasts for how to do some of the technology stuff. I want to make it really clear that you don't have to do any of the stuff that I'm about to show you, but I do think, it certainly made my life easier as a teacher, and so I figured I would pass it on to you guys. So I'm just going to make a series of videos about how to use some of our technology that we have available to us as teachers in our district. So the first is just how you can access your district Google account, which is really important for a lot of the other stuff that happens. And so I've got an incognito window open right now just so that I can go to anywhere and I won't be in my current account. And so this is just to show you how to do it from scratch. So anytime you go to a Google service, if you click the sign in button, you can, so I went to drive.google.com, for instance, because I want to get into my Google Drive. And you're going to get to something like this if you're not currently logged in. And so if we do this, right, we're just going to log ourselves in. So my password and username. My username is just my email address, and that's going to be the same for all of you guys. And the password convention is capitalized DPSD and then your employee ID number. You can change that after the fact, but if you haven't ever changed it, that's what it is set up as naturally. And so I have logged in, and you're going to get to a window like this. One thing that I've done for you guys is that I've put a science and tech folder in here, and this is available to anybody in the district. I will make sure that I directly share it with all of you. I'll probably just give you the link to it. You can then add that to your drive by right-clicking on it, and you have options here, and there'll be an option to add to your drive. It's already in my drive, so that's not a problem for me. I don't have that option coming up right now. The other place that you can go is you can go to shared with me, and I will have shared it with everybody so that you can go in there to get it. Cool. So when we go in here, it's probably not going to look like this for too much longer. I just put these things in here right now just to help sketch it out. But for instance, here is the slideshow that from the September 6th intro faculty meeting, or department meeting, I should say, and here's a copy of the agenda. I'll probably start putting these things into a hierarchy within this folder more generally, but once this folder is in your drive, you have access to it, and so you can always get to it. And so, like, for instance, if we go into general docs here, I put a copy of the bid lists and our supply ordering form and a copy of the sole source justification form, right? No major big deals here, but it's just stuff that I thought you might want to have a handle on and have access to. For me, it's always been annoying to get stuff pushed out, and then I have to kind of go search through my email. So by putting it all into this Google Drive kind of centralized folder for us, I thought that might make life easier. Of course, if you don't want to do it, you really don't have to. I'm not trying to make you have to do anything that you don't want to do. If we go in here, you notice that I put a star next to my science and tech folder. The way I do that is I right click on it and I have the option to remove the star, but actually there'll be an option to add a star if there isn't a star on it. I'm just going to quickly change the color of this folder just because I want to. But so starring, it's a really big deal because if you then go to your starred options in Google, anything that you've ever starred will show up here. And so that's like really, really helpful because it's a one-click place that you can go to get access to it. And so that's cool, and I hope that that's useful. So when you want to log in, you can sit down at any district computer and be able to just go to the login portal by just typing in the Google service you want to go to and then logging in using your username and password. But there is another trick that you can use in Chrome, which I'll show you. Chrome actually keeps track of multiple different users, and you do that by clicking this little box up here. So you can see that here I am as Mr. Kanufke, and then I have an option to switch person. So I can go to the switch person dialog. This is my personal Google account, right? And so this will then log me in my personal Google account. You can see my personal email loading. You don't really need to worry about it. But here I am as my Mr. Kanufke account, which is my district account. And so once I'm logged in here, then it's kind of like a quick access. I don't have to go and log in every time I want to use a service. So that's really, really helpful. And it's really only available in Chrome. And what's nice about this is then if I go to a Google service like Google Drive, you'll see that I'm already logged in. So I don't have to go through that process every time I want to do stuff. And so that's a really handy thing. The other thing is that it keeps track of all your bookmarks and any of your saved documents and so forth in that profile. So all you do is log in and then you're good to go. So that's how to use our district Google Drive stuff. I hope that that's helpful. I'd be happy to, of course, talk with you if you have any questions about how maybe you don't understand why this might be helpful for you and why I think it's the greatest thing in the world. I'd be happy to sit down with you and talk about it if you have any questions. All right, cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Take it easy.